For too long, bodybuilding has been seen as something primitive, something reserved for the meatheads and the gym bros. And what I've come to realize is that it's robbed a generation of men of the mental, physical, spiritual, and philosophical growth that this pursuit has to offer them. Bodybuilding done correctly is a profoundly intellectual discipline, a philosophical endeavor rooted in logic, objectivity, and identity. Have never been shown the scientific foundation beneath it. They are fit contradiction, chaos, and clickbait because that's what sells. Worse, you know what's worse? This chaos often comes disguised in the form of science. Today's fitness influencers, and I don't like to call out names, but I feel like it's a very important problem to address. Some fitness influencers will throw PubMed links like fucking confetti. You'll hear terms like evidence-based, meta-analysis, science-backed. I don't really mind the meta-analysis, but science backed from guys like Jeff Nippard and so-called science-based lifter, and people like Mike Israetel, who like wears the label of exercise scientist like an arm. Don't let their credentials, confidence, or YouTube thumbnails override your own rational thought. You should definitely watch them because that's what's out there. Take everything they say with a pinch of salt, even what I say with a pinch of salt. Use your logical faculty, your rational faculty, to understand the foundational principles behind every advice that you get, and you have your own experiences and you come to a conclusion. But do not discard your own intellectual faculty. If you feel like you've been stuck for a long time, you are stuck for a long time. Despite listening to these people, you've been stuck for a long ass time. You are the final decider. Your intellect, not the clickbait. You are the ultimate guide. Question everything, start from scratch, strip away tradition, trends, and your ego, and ask, what is actually true? I trained for years in the high volume mindset, 5 to 6 days a week, endless sets, protein in the anabolic window. But the results were slow, they were inconsistent, and after a certain amount of years, they completely plateaued. That was the limitation of the high volume style of training. And eventually, I started to think that maybe this is my genetic limit. Maybe I'm just doomed to be average. And then I read High Intensity Training and it fucking changed my life. That book hit me like a freight train. It completely changed the way I trained so suddenly. Although I would argue it was eventual, from high volume to higher intensity, but still higher volume. And then as I reduced the number of sets I did, eventually I was able to produce even more and more intense workouts. So higher and higher intensity at the cost of lower and lower volume, which is a cost I would gladly pay. I'm not spending 10 hours in the gym in a week. I don't have to. It's counterproductive for me. What a beautiful happenstance. It's amazing my life is like this. I can build the best physique that I could ever have built in my own potential without spending my life behind it. What more could I have asked for, right? So just for the upside of all of this, you should listen to it. You should give it a shot. The book never asked me to believe. It asked me to think, because behind everything he wrote and he said, there was a reason behind it. He asked me to think, and I did think, and it made sense, and I applied it into my life, and it has changed the way I train. It has changed my perceived outlook towards how quickly I can reach my goal. In the last 8 months, training in high intensity style once every 4 to 7 days, with failure as the bedrock and tracking as the compass, I put on more muscle than I ever have put on in any time frame of my entire weightlifting life. That's where my conviction comes from. Not theory, not bias, experience grounded in reason. Once you see it, once you understand it, you cannot unsee it. In this series, I want to lay out the 7 principles of high intensity training, not as tips or hacks, but as logical laws, a foundation that positions HIT, high intensity training, as one true science of bodybuilding. And we begin, like as all sciences must, with the first and most fundamental principle, which is the principle of identity. Let me ask you a question. Tell me, why can't a rock fly? Why can't a fish do calculus? Why can't you train your bicep as you jog on a treadmill? Because everything in existence has a nature, a specific identity. A rock is not a bird, a fish is not a mathematician. This is the most foundational concept of all of human knowledge, what Aristotle called the law of identity. A is A. A thing is what it is and cannot act against its own nature. This principle forms the bedrock of all science from physics to medicine. We send rockets into space, we build heart valves, we treat cancer, we understand the identity of things. We understand the laws that these entities follow, the limits that they obey. When it comes to bodybuilding, people forget all of this. Suddenly, identity doesn't matter. Suddenly, everyone's different. What works for me might not work for you. This is a contradiction and a dangerous one. So when someone says everyone's different, bro, what they're really saying, whether they understand it or not, is that reality itself is inconsistent. That the laws of anatomy and physiology don't apply equally to everyone. But think about that. If every human body were truly that different, medicine wouldn't work, surgery would be impossible, antibiotics would just be a coin toss, 50-50. Maybe it works, maybe it does not. The entire scientific world is built on the recognition that while humans may vary in some detail, height, genetics, your melatonin concentration, your skin color, we are fundamentally the same. And all the differences can be accounted for in certain deviation, acceptable standard deviation in a normal distribution. We are fundamentally the same species with the same muscular structure governed by the same biological laws. If this is true, why do you think so many bodybuilders or promoters or fitness influencers keep saying otherwise? Because when you deny universal principles, you can sell anything. You can sell a 6-day split, a 4-day split, a 5-day split, 20 sets workout. You can sell as ridiculous as not ridiculous in that entire spectrum of things that you can sell when there are no universal foundations, no universal principles. Confusion tactics, supplements, gear, hope, etc. You can look someone in the eye and say, well, it fucking works for him, but bro, I'm not sure if it will work for you. That's not science, bro. That's literal cop-out. Here's the truth. Reality doesn't bend to emotion. Muscle grows in response to specific cause. Just like gravity pulls, just like the heart pumps, just like a muscle fiber contracts, it has a nature, a fixed identity. You can't wish it to work into working it differently. So if you ever hear someone say different things work on different people, ask yourself, does that person believe in physics, medicine, in causality at all? Because if you deny the principle of identity, you deny the very basis of science. To bring it all together, the principle of identity states that every entity in the universe has a specific nature. And that nature determines what it can do, and more importantly, what must be done to change it. Cause and effect is not random. It acts consistently on identity. A rock will never fly, a flame will never freeze, and a muscle will never grow unless exposed to the specific stimulus it was designed to respond to. And that leads us to a very profound conclusion. If a muscle has a fixed nature, then there must be a single objective theory, a one true method for stimulating it to grow. Not dozens, not 100, not different for you, not different for me, not different amongst anyone. It must be foundational. It must be one theory. You cannot have multiple theories that contradict each other. That's your logical faculties telling you that there is inconsistency in the way you understand things. So there cannot be multiple theories of bodybuilding. There can only be one. There must be one rooted in biology and governed by logic. This has to be true. As you go through the series, and more importantly, through your own experience training in high intensity, you'll come to realize what I did. That truth isn't something you believe in. It's something you observe. It's something you test. And once you see it, you'll never unsee it. So that's identity. The next principle that follows is of intensity. And we'll talk about it there. But this was a huge tangent. There will be seven, and we will scope it out of the vlog as a standalone video as well. I want to make a series out of it explaining the 7 principles. But more importantly, there's even a more important thing. Today is chest and back. My mind's been so consumed by all of this, I just forget about it. So today is the high intensity chest and back day. I am fucking looking forward to this workout. The last workout was shoulders and arms. Another beautiful, successful workout last Sunday. Today is another Sunday. It's been 7 days. We are ready to work out again. I will see you guys there. Last machine pullover has been on 245, 235. So, and it's on 10 concentric. So it's time to go up in weight. So it's 10 kilos, 10 pounds up. And we went up by 10 pounds. Last time it was, machine pullover was 160 pounds. It's now gonna be 10 concentric and 12 negatives last time. So it's in the 10, 6 to 10 range. So weights can go up. And I feel like another 10 pounds would be a good add. So that's what we're gonna do. And then try to reach 10 concentric if I can. I can increase the weights again. And in the close grip palm pull down, keeping the weight same, 110 pounds. Last time I did 5 concentric and 12 concentric. I want to cross 8 concentric here. Although, again, in superset, the second exercise, if you progress in the first one, it takes a hit. And it's hard to progress here as well. But we'll try for 8 concentric. We'll see how it goes. Don't let me go, Chief. No matter how much I try. All right. It's so strong. Lightweight. Push. Nope. Help. Push. Nope, I can't. Up.
Let it go.
Help. Help. Up. This is nothing.
Do static and traction.
Up. Up.
Hold.
छोड़.
If you want just final hold. Just hold it. Just hold it. Hold it,
Last.
hold it, hold it, hold it.
That's it. Nope, 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 nope. Help. छोड़. Leave. Up. Leave. 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 That's it. That's it. Leave.
Three more like that.
और ऊपर आने मेरे को. छोड़. Let me stretch. Yep. Let me try. Cheers. Leave, leave, leave. Leave. That's it. Just have like 20 minutes to go, or 10 minutes to go before it shuts down. So we have just enough time to get in the fly and the press superset. So 85 kilos last time I did 8 concentric. I feel strong. I think I can go 90 on this. Get the weight up. I got it last time. I think I'm strong enough. Let's try to aim 8 reps on 90 kilos, and then bench will remain the same. I'll try to the static here instead of the eccentric. I'll stop once my concentric failure is done on the static portion, and then on the incline I want to try rest pause. Just see what rest pause looks like. So, all right.
Oos. Ooh. Nope. 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 Fuck.
Go like that. You got it, you got it, you got it.
Nope. Nope. Ah.
Let's go.
Help, 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 help.
Focus. Just one static. Hold it, hold it. And last hold like that.
Yep. Hut. That's it.
One more,
Nope.
one more, one more.
Ooh. Nope.
One more like that. You're done.
Break. छोड़ यहाँ पे. I gotta rest. Rest. Pause. 10 seconds.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
छोड़. Hut.
0.
Help. Hut. छोड़. What are you doing?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yep. Help. One more try.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up.
Come on, bitch.
Give me one more like that. Give me one more like that. One more like that.
That's it.
Yeah, give me one more. You gotta
That's
get
it.
hold. Just
No.
get hold.
It's not good. Yeah. As the days go by, as the weeks go by, I am getting so much better at muscle contraction and intensifying the muscle contraction. It's not just one thing. It's not just your form or just your mind muscle connection or just the tempo. It's conscious, focused effort that lets you contract more and more of your muscle in a more intense fashion with less of your resources involved. So you're able to consciously optimize for how much energy you spend for how much intensity you can generate with things like the static contraction, rest pause. That has been great. And we skipped the shrugs, the machine shrugs for the traps, and so did we also missed the deadlift. But the most important back superset and the chest superset, so I can call it a successful chest and back day. You know, I chase quality and not quantity. So even though I missed deadlifts and shrugs, for me, in no way is this an unsuccessful day at the gym. It was beautiful, it was perfect, and we'll take another week of rest, recover from this brutal sets, and next would be legs. And I'm looking forward to my legs workout. It's a very obvious, it's been a weakness of mine for the longest of time because as every other gym bro, I used to skip a lot of leg days. What you gonna do about it? I guess this is a very good example as to why you should never skip your leg days. And I feel like when you have certain objectives with your workouts, leg days or any other workout just gets more fun. I feel like that objective is what high intensity training provides. And I'm just loving the objectives, completing these objectives, and then just growing bigger from it. It's been 8 months. I think in 4 months I'll put out my 1 year transformation video, and that delta is just phenomenal. And over the last year, I've been losing weight as well. I weigh around, I think around 84 to 85-ish kilo. I'm 6 feet 2. My goal by the end of July, or realistically by mid of August, reach around 80 kilos. I'm hoping that's going to be a good body fat percentage for me to put out social media content, because I am displaying my body for attention essentially. More than anything, it's a very inner obsession with high intensity training ideas, and just the realization that this is not out there in the mainstream. It almost feels like a responsibility, and I am convinced what I preach is out of conviction, and it's out of goodwill, and it's out of wanting to help others hear about high intensity training. Mike Mentzner, the legend he was, man, I took off all of this in the gym at a posing session, and it just feels unreal. Try to relate with me a bit. I've been training, let's say, 3 years before high intensity, and my growth was just so stagnant for such a long time. And the last 8 months to 1 year has just been transformational for me in terms of my physique and in terms of how I understand what needs to be done to put on. I'm enjoying my life right now. I have some semblance of a goal and a purpose. Say high intensity training with coaching other people and perhaps building a business out of it and help a lot of people basically make an impact in this world, that you do not need to get on drugs and anabolics to have the kind of body you've dreamt of. You really don't. And an inefficient, incorrect method that does not help you grow, but quite the opposite, is going to always lead those people down a path where they think they are just doomed to look that way, or that there is obviously genetic thresholds, but that threshold does not manifest itself, or that threshold is never accomplished or ever reached because of inefficient training methods. And when these inefficient training methods, when you train like that over the months, over the years, and much more efficient training methods will have you reach those points before you give out, before you consider alternatives like drugs, which has been so popularized in the mainstream. I would go as far as to say that high volume training is the reason why you have a steroid epidemic. People who take steroids, you should not listen to them if you are a natural lifter for advice. Not because they are inherently evil or they want to harm you or not want you to transform, but their own experiences with recovery, with what frequency works, is going to be so different to yours. You cannot recover at that rate. Anabolic or steroids is the reason why an inefficient method may seem to produce results. But as a natural with not enhanced capabilities, you can never manifest anything out of high volume training, not after a limit of the actual method and not your genetics. So I know it's a very contrarian and controversial statement, but you may or may not believe it. I get it. Maybe an old version of me that had that amount of consciousness or realizations would struggle to believe what I say right now. And that's completely fine. But at the very least, use your rational faculty to think about it. Perhaps have like a mini experiment, like a POC, try it out for a month or two and see how your body reacts to it. And yeah, man, see how it goes.